Hey, everybody. So glad to see you all here on a Friday. First time we've ever come live on a Friday. I'm Chris Freytag, founder of GHUTV, and this is Sam Cameranesi.
Hello.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Now you guys might say, why are you wearing matching outfits? Because we're like fifth graders.
We are.
We text each other, what color shirt are you wearing today? Wear the army green one today. So we love to match. People always ask about, we're gonna get into this, don't worry, but people always ask about Get Healthy UTV, like, how are we always coordinating our outfits? We just think it looks better on camera, so we always try to coordinate like the color hue, etc. Anyway, that was so far off of what we're here for today. Today is about strength training and the fountain of youth, because honestly, strength training is the fountain of youth. It's one of a few things, but it's a very important part of aging gracefully, well, and capable. So I'm super excited to talk about it. It's something that I'm super passionate about at my age. I'm turning 56 next month.
Yay.
You know, woohoo.
Happy early birthday.
Closer to the 60 than I ever thought I was going to be. Our little friend over here, how old are you, Sam?
I'm 30.
She's 30. Half my age, and we both strength train, and we both strength train a lot. And there's, you know, I'm really proud of people who are in their 30s who are taking strength training seriously. Honestly, I honestly started seriously strength training at about age 30. That was when I started. Because we didn't do a lot of strength training prior to that in fitness. We were dancing around, but we weren't lifting. So it's a really great topic. I'm super excited to talk about it with you, and every decade you are going to benefit from it. So I know we have a bunch of pre-asked questions that you guys drop in the posts that we made. I know we get a lot of you live, although it's a Friday, so this is new to us. You know, give us a comment or two to tell us, is Friday a good day for you or not? We typically are live Tuesday or Wednesday, right?
Yep, or sometimes Thursday, but yeah, Tuesday, Wednesday.
And we come live once a month, just so you know, at Get Healthy UTV to answer questions. We typically pick a subject, but everything is fair game. You can ask anything you want. So let's get right into it.
Absolutely. So today, Fountain of Youth and strength training, so protein. Can you give some simple, quick protein options for after a workout, and how much protein would you recommend post-workout?
Okay, and I'm glad you just threw the word protein in. Yes, strength training goes hand in hand with protein. If you are strength training, you need to feed your muscles protein in order to repair and refuel.
Correct.
So ask the question again, hashtag menopause brain.
Can you give some quick, simple protein options for after a workout?
So simple protein. So, okay, just talking about after workout, there is a little bit of timing to your protein. If you are really strength training, you're really breaking down those muscles, you really feel like you're giving yourself some good strength training workouts, and it's really important to get the protein in your body within about 2 hours after your workout. Optimal would be within 45 minutes, but within like 2 hours after your workout. So if you are about to eat a meal, like let's say you finish your workout and you're gonna have dinner, you don't need to have a snack. You can just wait till that dinner comes. If you, like for Sam and I, we work out early in the morning and we have our breakfast right afterwards. So boom, there's your protein source. But if you are doing a workout where you're not gonna eat a meal for many hours, then do give yourself a snack within that 2 hours, just to get protein into the muscles when they are most receptive to receive the amino acids, which is what protein is made of. Now, type of sources, really, you know, it's up to you. Obviously, animal products are a good source of protein. So meat, dairy, eggs, those are all really nice, good sources of protein. And animal products have what we call a perfect amino acid profile of your essential amino acids. So animal products have all 9 essential amino acids. But that being said, plant products are also, plant products, is that the right word? Plant food is also a good source. Many leafy greens, some vegetables, nuts, seeds, they all have, you know, beans, legumes, they all have good sources or amount of proteins. They don't have the perfect 9 essential amino acids that your body needs, but if you are combining different plants throughout the day or in each meal, you are gonna end up with all 9 of those essential amino acids. You don't have to really worry about it. So, you know, for me, I'll do hard-boiled eggs after a workout. I do a protein shake in the morning. That's typically my breakfast. I always throw nuts and seeds. I eat a lot of pumpkin seeds, so I throw nuts and seeds in my shake. I do eat a lot of chickpeas. I love chickpeas in my salad. I love hummus. I do black beans every week. It depends on what meal I'm eating. What do you do? What are your best protein sources?
I do protein powder. So, you know, in the morning, I always do a shake. That's just the best way for me. And then, ground chicken, ground turkey at night, or just chicken breast. But I know that there actually is a question. You kind of touched on a lot of them. Protein options.
I answered a lot of things
at
once.
Protein options beside meat, because there are people that, are not eating meat. And so, my boyfriend is actually, he doesn't do meat.
Is he vegan or vegetarian?
He's vegan.
Vegan, okay.
Yep. And so beans and legumes, like you said, edamame is a really good one. I know there's a pretty good source of protein in there. Quinoa, you talked about quinoa a lot.
Yeah, quinoa is actually a grain.
Yep.
It's crazy that doubles as a protein. And so it's gluten-free.
Yep.
It is got the 9 essential amino acids that an animal product has. It's like the most glorious grain you can possibly eat. It's nutty, it's easy to cook, it stays really well in the fridge if you make a big batch of it.
Yeah.
So I highly recommend quinoa as a staple for protein.
Absolutely. And then I know Ezekiel bread is another one that is, it is
bread.
also, a grain, but like there's all the really whole grains in those. So
Right, and if you can get non-GMO breads, grains, meats, all that kind of stuff, that is, important, at least for me personally. But yeah, even my daughter was vegan for like 5 years.
Right.
And it was amazing. She could end up with a good amount of protein in her diet. So, I eat animal products, so I love Greek yogurt. Greek yogurt is another one for me. I like creamy. I like anything that resembles ice cream in any form. And Greek yogurt reminds me of ice cream. So I buy the plain. I don't buy all that pre-made fruit stuff where there's all this sugar in there. I put my own. I put usually like just 1 packet of monk fruit. That's been what I've been using, monk fruit. And then I'll mix in blueberries, raspberries, banana chunks. I'll throw in some nuts or seeds or whatever. And it's like a little yogurt parfait. I love it. Good source.
do you ever do tofu or like tempeh?
I go in spurts. So when my daughter was younger, now she lives on her own, but we did buy a lot of tofu and tempeh at our house. And I would, what I think is interesting about tofu is when you saute it in a pan, it takes on the taste. I don't think it tastes like much. It takes on the taste of whatever seasoning you're using. So it's kind of a great product because you can buy soft, medium, or firm. If you get the firm tofu and you cut it in chunks and you saute it with some interesting spices and olive oil, it's really, really good, I think. And tempeh is just fermented tofu. So I like it too. It's an acquired taste. And I love seafood. Do you eat seafood?
Love it.
You eat salmon?
I eat salmon. Okay. Yeah, that's my main one. So let's see. Should I take protein after running or after weightlifting, or both? Does it matter? Both.
I mean, when you're running, you're using a lot of muscle. And again, you have to use some common sense. Like if you run 1 mile, do you really need an extreme source of protein? Maybe not at that moment. If you do a 10-minute workout, do you need to have a 400 calorie shake? No, you don't. So it's about like the intensity of your exercise and the length of your exercise, quite honestly. And most people say, how much protein in a sitting? So our bodies can digest. Again, it depends on your gender, mostly your weight and your size and the way you metabolize, but somewhere between 20 to 40 grams of protein in a serving. But if you're eating less than that, let's say you're just having a couple eggs and you're gonna end up with 12 grams of protein or something, that's great too.
How many grams of protein should women aim for daily?
Daily. So the rule of thumb out there by most, dietitians is approximately half a gram to a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So if you weigh 140, that would be like saying you need somewhere between 70 to 140 grams of protein per day. So pretty doable. I kind of fall somewhere within there. Now we did a whole hour on macro counting.
Macro counting, yeah.
What was that, 2 months ago?
Yes, yep.
2 months ago. And so if you are interested in learning more about macros, go back and listen to that Q&A. Mm-hmm. But I do about 25% of my daily diet in protein. And so I eat probably about 500 calories of protein a day. And so divide that by, do some quick math. What's 500 divided by 4? You'd think I could do that, but I can't. By 4. Do you know what it is?
I'm
okay.
really good at math.
Okay, so then I have to reopen my computer. Bottom line is, my macros that I kind of decide matches with approximately what I...
what did you want, 400?
500 divided by...
4?
Yeah.
125.
125. Yeah, there. So that gives me about 125 grams of protein a day. Thank you.
I'm like, we're quick math.
Which also matches what I just said about a half a gram to a gram of protein per pound of body weight. It puts me right in there. So I typically will have my, and why the variation? Because it depends on your activity, how heavy you lift. Extreme athletes will even do, a little higher than that, like up to 2 grams of protein per pound of body weight, depending on how they're training and what they're doing. But in our world, I'll eat a scoop of protein powder in the morning, that's 20. I'll eat a chicken breast, that's like 20, 25. I eat, a bunch of nuts, seeds, probably getting myself another 25 in there. Then I'll probably have another protein source at dinner. I'll eat a thing of Greek yogurt, that's about 20 grams. So I usually do get to about 125.
Yeah, I mean,
day.
it's definitely, it's easy to get there if you're really kind of watching.
If you have protein with every meal,
Yep.
you just need to make sure that you're having protein with every meal. And I'm just going to throw this out there because we're going to be talking about menopause in the month of October. We talk a lot about it because many of you are in those perimenopause or menopausal years, and that spans a wide age range. Women will start perimenopause sometimes in their 30s, but typically 40s, and people hit menopause, women hit menopause anywhere between, the average age in America, I think, is 51, 52. So somewhere between 50 and 60, typically in somewhere between 50, 55, people are hitting that menopause time. So that's a large span. That's over a decade of time that your hormones are fluctuating. Strength training is such an important thing when it comes to menopause. We're going to talk about the fountain of youth, for maintaining your metabolism, for maintaining your body composition and structure so you stay strong, for bone health, for joint health. And then if you're going to do the strength training, you really need the protein. So it's kind of this, what do you call it? Snowball effect, or a circular thing where you need all of the components. And by the way, if you are listening and you are interested, we are doing a Menopause Muscle Builder Challenge for October. We are super excited about it. It's the first time that we've had a calendar that is focused on menopause. So you can click on the link to sign up. Now, if you already are a gold member for Get Healthy UTV, it is a free challenge. So click on already a gold member. It's in little words right there. Click on that and you can sign up. If you are a premium member or not a member at all, you can join this challenge for $13. And the bonus is you also get a year-long membership. So if you sign up today, you have an entire year till next September 24th. Is today the 24th? 24th,
yeah.
2022, you will have a membership to Get Healthy UTV. So it's kind of exciting. The calendar itself has some really good strength training on it.
And that just kind of gives you a little taste of what our calendars are like. Now we have, I think we counted the other day, 45 to 50 calendars on our website, and we are consistently adding more calendars. So just a little taste of what that looks like, and you have a whole nother year to try other
to check out other calendars. And really why we make calendars is because people do better with a plan.
Yep.
When someone tells you what to do for 28 days, being a personal trainer for the last 30 years, I know that works better than you waking up and looking at the wall going, what should I do today? You have to have a plan. Planning to fail is failing to plan. Failing to plan is planning to fail. So that's really important. But the menopause calendar, so we're always talking about what type of calendar are our members asking for? Mm-hmm. But this is really unique because what we did, it's 3 days of strength training.
Yep.
It's one full day of just a good cardio sweat, which cardiovascular health is so important at every age, and especially in our world today when we're dealing with, fighting off viruses and diseases. Cardiovascular health, lung capacity, all that is so important. And then also you get 1 day of yoga because flexibility training as we get older is also so important. And then you get 2 days of rest. And why are you getting 2 days of rest? Because that's what I do. Now, we are modeling it after me.
She's sharing her secrets.
But if you want more days, then you'll take an extra day. If you don't want those days of rest, if you're like, you know what, I don't need 2 days of rest, then you can get creative and add a new workout there. And for me, a day of rest is walking. So on a day of rest, I'm going to walk probably 3 to 5 miles outside, but I'm not going to strain my body in any way. So if you are interested, sign up for the Menopause Muscle Builder. It'll give you a taste of what we're all about. And they are challenging. No doubt these workouts are challenging, but we give you modifications. We help you through. We're going to be in the Facebook group talking about menopause once a week. We have to still set the time, but we're going to do that. And so I'll be live every week chit-chatting with you for the month of October, and I'm just really pumped about it.
We do have Julie. She said she signed up for the Menopausal Muscle Builder Challenge, but she feels like she might need to do a beginner calendar first. Do you have options for that?
Yes, if you look at the welcome email,
Yep.
and I signed up for the Menopause Muscle Builder so I could make sure that everyone was getting their welcome email, and I got it right away. And on that welcome email, we tell you, I believe it's on the welcome email, and even on the page where you signed up, that if this is too challenging of a calendar for you, we did make a brand new beginner calendar. It's called Beginner Program 2.0. And so anybody who feels like they get started or they take a peek at the menopause one and they go, whoa, that's like way too much, then the Beginner 2.0 is going to be the one that you would follow.
Awesome. All right. It looks like we have a lot of people excited for that challenge.
Okay.
Back to our protein topic. What are good protein bars that are nut-free and peanut-free? I should be the one to be able to answer
You
that
should be able to answer
question.
because she is nut-free and peanut-free.
And there are not a lot out there. And so to be honest, if you have a nut allergy, I just kind of stay away from them just because, you know, there are a lot of cross-contamination as well. So I'm not I should know the answer to this, but I don't.
You just don't eat bars.
Because
You
there
don't.
really aren't that many out there. So.
And I don't eat a lot of them either because so many of them have so many like weird things in them. And quite honestly, I know they've changed over the years. There are some really good ones, but they used to like bloat me and not make me feel that great.
Yeah.
So honestly, if I'm going to eat a protein bar, it's going to be a granola bar. Like I will buy at Costco right now has this brand. Of course, Costco's always changing their brands, but it's called Autumn's Gold, I think. You can't eat it. Oh, shoot, it's full of nuts. What am I saying? It's a grain-free granola bar. Okay, forget that. But for those of you who like granola bars and can't eat nuts, it is an amazing granola bar. I'm trying to think of something that's nut-free, because the ones that I eat are typically like a granola bar with lower sugar, but they still
Probably
have nuts
loaded
in them.
with nuts,
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're probably going to be better off with like an apple and hard-boiled eggs. And what are your favorite snacks? Because you are nut-free.
I know I am nut free, but I do a lot of just like veggies and fruit because they're easy to take on the go with you. I also make overnight oats, which is another really good thing to make the night before, and I throw protein powder in it. So overnight oats is super easy. Hard-boiled eggs is also easy. I'm really into fruit and veggies right now. So
Do you just dip them in anything or no?
I love hummus and I love guac.
Okay,
So
me
those
too.
are my dipping sauces.
Okay. Yeah, because just to give some flavor, because it gets boring just noshing on celery. So.
It does.
Yeah,
Yep.
and see, when I eat celery, I like to dip it in nut butter.
I was gonna say peanut butter or some nut butter would taste great, but let's see. So yeah, people are asking nut-free portable snacks to keep on hand that have protein. Again, I also am somebody that will just make chicken and I'll keep it with me, and I literally bite on some chicken throughout the day. So I know it sounds super like, not great, but you also have to just figure out what works best for your body and what feels good for like my stomach. I'm a very bland eater, and so I'm not the best person to ask about food.
And I'm not, but I do eat a lot of nuts and seeds, but I will put veggies in a bag and
Yep.
bring hummus with me. I have all these little containers with lids where I can put
They're the
hummus or
best.
guac in there, and I just take it with me. I
Yep.
do eat nut butter though, so I also take nut butter with me. And I do eat dairy. I don't eat a lot. The only dairy I eat,
Yogurt.
honestly, is yogurt.
Yeah.
Every so often I have milk because I really love a true latte. If I'm going to spoil myself with a latte, I just like regular milk. But sometimes I do almond milk, but I'm not a big cheese eater. But you could do like toast too, like if you do an Ezekiel bread or
yeah.
something, and you can do an avocado mash on top. Like that is delicious.
That's delicious.
Hard-boiled eggs.
Hard-boiled eggs are great.
I'm obsessed with hard-boiled eggs.
Yeah.
So.
I'm really into my overnight oats right now.
And then,
I go
well,
through
and
phases.
here's the other thing. Okay, I have this recipe. Maybe we should publish it for muffins. See, I love things like cookies and muffins. You guys, I have the propensity to eat like a ton of sugary food, but I don't because I know better. But I have this recipe for muffins that my girlfriend she kind of formulated, and it's almond flour and oats. That's like the base, and then it's some baking powder. I think that might be it and like salt. Okay, so that's the
Dry ingredients.
Then the wet is mashed banana. I don't think there's an egg.
Do you have oats?
Oats are in the dry. It's mashed banana. I actually add some lately because it's fall. I've been adding some canned pumpkin to it. But there's like vanilla and I put a little monk fruit in it. You mix it up, and you can add like chocolate chips to it or cacao chips, or you could add blueberries. I do both. I add walnuts. You don't have to add that, but then you got these homemade muffins. Seriously, like all summer, I've been kind of obsessed with that.
I actually had made some, like, it was a sweet potato carrot, I think.
Yum.
Muffins.
Yum.
They were really good, and there was not a lot to it, and there was pumpkin puree in it, and shredded carrots. Sounds really weird, but it actually keeps the muffin super moist.
Yeah,
and
yum.
delicious. So, I don't know, another option.
I like it.
All right. How many days or minutes of strength training should a woman in her late 40s be doing, especially since we are fighting the clock?
Okay, so here's the first thing. If you are considering strength training or you're doing strength training, you're amazing, okay? Because there is a study out there, and I don't have the exact statistic, but it's a staggering percentage of Americans who are doing less than 10 minutes of exercise a week. A week, yeah. So to me, that's just staggering. So if you are considering doing anything, I'm super proud of you. You are cut above the rest. That being said, the CDC sets the activity guidelines. And what they say is 150 minutes of heart pumping cardio a week. So that's getting your heart pumping, cardiovascular system, detoxing your body, mental health. And then 2 strength training sessions a week using all your muscles, no other guidelines. So what does that say? That says that the CDC has realized that when you give people too many rules, they do nothing. And so what we have found out is that, 2 strength training sessions, is that going to, maybe take you about 20 minutes if you're really efficient to get through all muscle groups. Maybe you go 30 minutes. Maybe you divide it up and you do 3 or 4 days a week and it's 10 minutes. You do like a different body part every day. Maybe you can divide it however you want, but use all muscle groups in some sort of a strength training session at least twice a week. That's the guideline. So for instance, in this Menopause Muscle Builder calendar, we're going to have you strength training 3 days a week.
Yep.
So you're going to be doing 3 really good total body muscle workouts per week. So we're going to take care of that for you. But that's the guideline. So the reality is most people don't do that. Mm-mm. Most people are like, okay, well, I'm going to just do a couple bicep curls. Oh, I'm so bored. Okay. Oh, oops, got to go. Phone's ringing or whatever. And they don't really get anything else done. So we're going to have you squat and lunge and bicep curls and triceps. We're going to get your triceps popping out of the back of your arm. We're going to give you chest muscles, back muscles, shoulder muscles. And that's the whole idea of getting it in. But as we age, when you say, we're fighting the clock, we start to lose bone mass. And we start to lose muscle mass starting at about the age of 35 if you are not actively replacing it. Those are the key words. If you are not actively replacing it. For somebody who has been active, I was active in my 20s, I was chasing little kids, and then all of a sudden you hit 40 and you're sedentary. You kind of gave up on the exercise and you're not doing anything to really work your muscles besides opening the fridge, okay? So now you're losing muscle mass, and you could be in a position to be losing bone mass too, depending on the strength of your bones, a lot of different things. So it's really important that you do that strength training to keep your longevity. Bone health matters, especially as our hormones start fluctuating. Bone health starts to be compromised, calcium starts to be compromised, metabolism starts to be compromised, and muscle composition. So you hear all that and you go, oh my God, how am I even alive? But the bottom line is you have to just take charge. And if you stay steady, and believe me, if you feel like, well, Chris, I missed the boat. I'm 55 and I haven't done anything. You haven't missed the boat. I've seen women at age 70 start strength training. You have not missed the boat. But you have to start doing something. Start with baby steps because your joints need to get acclimated. Your muscles need to get acclimated. But just keep going, and it will make such a difference.
Yeah. And it's a huge mood booster too.
It is
those
a huge
endorphins
mood booster.
that are released when you are working out, it feels so great.
And confidence. It builds confidence. When you know that you can pick something up and put it over your head, it makes a difference. As a matter of fact, my mom is 83 and going through some rehab for her hip. And she said to me, one of the hardest things to accept is that she can't do things by herself. Yeah. That she has to ask somebody to grab something for her as she's rehabbing. And I understand that as you get older and you can't do things for yourself, you can't pick that box up and put it on the top shelf because you don't have the strength. That's different than when you go, hey, I'm just going to pick this up and put it up there because I can. So it's confidence, it's mental health, it's physical health, it's everything. And if I could just give people, like, if I could just, I'm on a soapbox already, but if I could get on a taller soapbox, I would say just do something. And there's no like one right way to strength train. It's not like you have to pick up dumbbells. Like some people use medicine balls, or they use body weight, or they use resistance bands, or, you know, they play a sport that involves muscular contraction, or you do ballet or whatever it might be. There are ways to strength train.
Kind of going off of that, somebody just had a question. What is the best exercise for women in menopause?
There is no one best exercise, but I would say one of the best things to do is to combine, at least this is how I feel and a lot of trainers feel, I know Sam feels, is combine your cardio and strength together. It's just multitasking at heart. When you do a repetitious circuit or interval workout where you know, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to squat, curl, press, and then I'm going to get into a plank and I'm going to mountain climb. You get your heart rate up from the repetition. So you're benefiting from the cardiovascular training at the same time you're training your muscles. And therefore, it's a time saver. It feels really good. And I think people are more apt to stick with that. It's more fun. And so again, do what floats your boat. Everybody has a different personality, and there's no one right way to get from point A to point B. But I do think when you combine the two, especially when we get a little older, and you think you have more time on your hands when you get older. You know, people say, well, you don't have kids anymore. Well, I don't have kids at home anymore, but my job is so busy.
Right.
And then if you're helping other people or volunteering or dealing with your aging parents or helping with your grandkids or whatever it might be, you are busy. And so if you can find a way to make sure you're fitting it in your day, it makes a difference.
We do have somebody asking, is it bad to strength train every day for your body?
So the rule of thumb, no, it's not bad, is if you are super sore. Like we've all had those days where, oh my gosh, I can barely stand up out of my chair. My butt is so sore, or my arm is so sore I can barely pick anything up. Then you should definitely give your body a rest. That's called delayed onset muscle soreness, DOMS. And when your muscles are that sore, they usually take about 24 to 48 hours at least to repair. So give them that little bit of rest. No need to overdo it. But if you strength train a little bit every day, like we do, and so here's another thing. It has to be how it works in your schedule. So many years ago, I used to strength train Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. And that was kind of a good little schedule. Sometimes it was Monday, Wednesday, Saturday. So that was like this great schedule. Well, then my life changed. And now I strength train some Mondays, depends if I'm with Get Healthy UTV, but then Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So I'm like front loading it to the front of my week. And then I go Friday, Saturday, Sunday without weightlifting. And so if someone would say, well, that doesn't sound very efficient. Well, again, you got to get away from the rules. That's what works for me in my schedule. So no problem. I take like 3 days of muscular work off.
Yep.
Friday is our cardio day. We always kickbox on Fridays.
Kickbox, yep.
But so it depends on what works for you. And then I work really hard, but I'm not typically like super sore because my muscles are used to it. But there are days, and Sam and I joke about it all the time, like by Thursday, I'm like,
No more weightlifting.
I can barely pick these weights up by Thursday. So then I know that it's time for me to give myself a rest. So you have to do a lot of self-awareness.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm somebody that loves to pick up the weights, if I could Monday through Sunday, but and I say this very lightly, as I get older, it's just like, you feel things like your back or whatever. And so I have come to the point where it's like, I take, 1 or 2 days where it's an active day of rest, or I just do more cardio. But you got to do what works best for your body. And so I, personally love taking 1 day off without the weights, maybe 2, because you just need to give those muscles a little bit of time to repair.
And that's the difference between her and I in terms of age. So when I was 30, I took maybe maybe 2 days. And now I take 2, probably 3, usually 3 days off of weights per week.
Yep.
And that's just so that I have more time to repair, because I do notice that I do get a little more lethargic isn't the right word. I just get really, I can just feel my body's tired.
Yep.
So you have to go with it.
Any tips for cardio when you get winded easily? She was told that she may have some emphysema.
Well, again, being no doctor, emphysema, asthma, I can't really help you with that. You definitely need to be in contact with your doctor about that. But if it's a factor of just getting more fit, like you're new to exercise, a lot of people get discouraged because they get winded literally walking up the block. They're like, I can't even barely walk up the block without having to stop and breathe. I get that. That's going to take cardiovascular training. Your cardiovascular system, it's kind of like a window. Like you got to push it a little bit, and it's like the window gets open a little more, and then you have a larger capacity of area where your heart rate can go up and down, where you feel good, but it takes practice. However, emphysema, COPD, asthma, that's a whole different thing, so you definitely need to check with your doctor on that.
Absolutely. We have somebody asking, what is the best strength training calendar for a 63-year-old that has not exercised in about a year?
Wow, okay. So we like the Beginner 2.0.
Yep.
It has a lot of strength training in it.
It has a lot of strength training with, days off and extra, cardio. It has a little bit of everything in it, just kind of like our Menopause Muscle Builder calendar. We do also have our beginner program 1.0 is coming back to.
Yes, somehow it fell off.
It fell off
the
our
website,
website.
and we're like, where did 1.0 go?
So it should be coming back soon. The foundations.
Oh, foundations. That's okay. I'm
Calendar
looking it up right
is
now.
also a more beginner place to start. It's a really good place. There are some chair workouts in there, so if you don't need to sit in a chair, then stand up and do it. It's a great beginner, just really focusing on the weight training aspect of it. Or if you do need to sit in a chair, those chair workouts are great. Guys are awesome.
And I was going to say, I really like the Walk, Sweat, Sculpt
that is
calendar.
Also a nice one. Yep.
It's a lot of indoor walking, along with, I'm looking at this calendar right now. It's got some Core Blast Pilates in it. It's got Walk and Tone Express, Walk and Tone. So you're picking up weights. It's got a couple other like Tone Every Zone type workouts. And also when you go to our calendar page, click on all calendars, and you'll see a little notation that says beginner in the upper left corner of the calendar, so that you know if you're picking a calendar that works for your fitness level.
Awesome. We have somebody just asked the question, my weight gain has started to concentrate in the middle waist area. Any suggestions on how to target that?
Yeah, often. So the fat storing hormones that really kind of work on the middle are insulin and cortisol. So insulin is, a lot of people have trouble with insulin now because we're living in a world of type 2 diabetes being the norm. It's hard. People can change it and reverse it all through food. I've seen it happen so many times if you're not too far over the edge yet with how many years you've had it or whatever. So food makes a difference. You want to lower the insulin issues. Now what happens is if you're eating a lot of processed foods, not just sugar, but processed foods, because processed foods turn to sugar in your body immediately. It's like you're eating sugar. It elicits an insulin response. So your pancreas releases insulin. It's trying to mop up the sugar. But if it's in a constant state of trying to mop up stuff for 7 days a week, it just literally I always say it gets a virus like a computer and it doesn't work properly. And it starts to take some of that and store it primarily as belly fat. So I don't know what you eat, but I would definitely be challenging you to check out your diet and definitely focus on fruits and vegetables and plant-based foods and get rid of processed foods and colorings and artificial flavors and all that stuff. And then cortisol is a stress hormone. And if you have a lot of stress in your life too, that might be something where you want to reevaluate. Do you need some meditation? Do you need more yoga? Do you need some more relief? Do you need to kickbox? That's my stress relief, just punching stuff.
Yeah.
What do you need in your life to possibly reduce that? The other thing is it just tends to be also a menopausal muffin top type of a thing. As we get older, it tends to settle there. So it's, nothing has changed when it comes to weight gain. It's still, no matter how you slice it, no matter what you do, it's energy in, energy out. How many calories are you taking in? How many calories are you expending? You have to have a calorie deficit to lose body fat. That's the quantity. Then you have to focus on the quality. The type of calories that you are eating really, really matter. Especially as we get older, you need to feed your body more of the real food. And then strength training. You need strength training, and then you need the strength training and exercise. So that's, just eating healthy and exercise is the craziest, easiest advice that I can give you.
It is. Let's see. Okay, for those of us in our 50s who are fighting the muscle loss, what are your thoughts on BCAAs and creatine? She's not a bodybuilder, she's just a mom.
Yeah, okay, so I know, because as we get older, it's a little harder to maintain the muscle mass. I noticed that on myself, like it's just harder to get that bigger muscle mass because my estrogen is down, my progesterone is down, my testosterone is down. It's all down here. It's all in the toilet. Here's the thing, once you get past that menopause point, you kind of even out. Like, you don't have any hormones necessarily left, but you start to even out where there's not the fluctuations, which is where you feel the most crazy. But that being said, it is a little harder to put on the muscle mass. BCAAs are very good. So those are the branched chain amino acids. So for those of you who, we'll go back to the beginning of the hour, protein is made of amino acids. There are 21 amino acids that make up food and protein. And of the 21, 11 of them can be manufactured in your body. 9 of them have to be taken in through food, which is why you need to eat protein every day. You need those 9 essential amino acids. Of those 9, there are the BCAAs, which are the isoleucine, leucine, and valine. Those are the branched chain amino acids. They're branched chain. I'm not a scientist, but they work on muscle synthesis better than, or more effectively, or they're more important than some of the others. So you can get BCAAs in a powder or a pill form. Some people do like to take them before their workout. I don't do that, and I'm interested to hear from people if BCAAs give them more energy before their workout. I tend to take them after my workout in my protein powder. So I feel like that is a good thing. Now, I don't take additional BCAAs because I use Bipro protein powder, which is a whey-based protein. We talk about it all the time at Get Healthy UTV because we've partnered with them for the last decade. It's a clean whey protein, and it's very high in the BCAAs. So that's my source of BCAAs. But you can buy just BCAAs and take them. And some people do use them during, or after workout. Yep. Creatine is a substance that holds on to water. So when people take creatine, it does give you more pump, more energy, but it also holds water, so you look a little more, what's the right word? Puffy or bloated or soft or something. You're just holding more fluid. And so as a female, I've never been interested in creatine because I don't want to hold more fluid. When you're younger, you go through the your times of the month where you do feel like you're just retaining water and fluid, and then you go through that next part of the month where you go, oh, thank God I just got rid of that. Well, everything I've heard about creatine is you feel that muscle swell, if you will. Guys love it. Like my son, when he was playing hockey both my boys, when they're playing hockey a lot, they were using creatine. And you have to use it smart. You don't use a lot. You need to start taking it slowly. It is over the counter, like it's not a prescription of some sort. It is safe, but you have to be smart about it. Anyway, my bottom line is I guess I have never experimented with creatine myself. So take it for what it's worth. Have you ever used creatine? No. Okay. Does your sister or brother?
No, my brother did when he was playing hockey back in the day. He still is playing hockey, but he is not doing any of that anymore. So, no.
Okay.
I don't have much experience in that either.
And your sister is an Olympian. She's an Olympian, a gold. Okay, listen to this.
Hopefully
Sam's
she's not
sister
watching today.
has a gold medal. She was on the women's U.S. hockey team that won the gold medal last. Where did they play?
Pyeongchang in South Korea.
Yeah. Can you freaking believe that? She has a gold medal. Is creatine, you might not know this, is it a banned substance?
I believe it, yes. It's
probably a banned substance because, with the Olympics, they have to be really, really serious about it.
Yes, because they can get tested anytime. So,
right.
Yes. All right. Let's see. We have somebody saying that she recently bought strength tubes. Do you have more than one type of workout using resistance tubes for strength training?
Yeah, so if you want to look up any piece of equipment on Get Healthy UTV, like if you're like, I love a medicine ball, because I do love medicine balls. They are fun.
They are fun. And kettlebells are fun too.
Well, we do have a section for kettlebells.
Yep.
But if you want to look up like medicine balls, resistance bands, mini bands, BOSU trainers, put that in the search bar. Put that as your search term in the search bar, and up will come all the workouts that use a resistance band. The long tubes with the handles, we probably have 10 workouts with resistance bands. We do that, and we're happy to record more. We love your feedback. We listen to our private Facebook group.
We do.
And we're happy to, do what you guys want. We're here to serve you, but they just don't get as viewed as the dumbbell workouts.
We have some suggestions rolling in, so I'm writing them down.
Okay, we like them. We like your suggestions.
Perfect. Let's see. Okay, so Pilates, yoga, those type of workouts and mobility, are they considered active recovery type of exercises, strength training? What are those kind of
So
considered?
Pilates and what?
Yoga, and like mobility work.
They're active recovery. Now, that being said, there are some Pilates classes that are super intense. Or if you've ever been to a yoga class where, you know, you're like, some of the yoga sculpt workouts. We have a new yoga sculpt workout, which involves weights. That's a premium workout. And then in the gold category, we have what we call buff body yoga using the weights. That can be a little more intense and count, you know, as a workout. But if you're doing one that's maybe a little more low key and it's all about like mobility and stretching, we just had a yoga tune up for the back and hamstrings. That definitely is recovery. Pilates is borderline. Pilates is hard work. I'm going to count that as a workout.
Yeah.
And as a Pilates instructor myself, I really, like every year, my New Year's resolution is to do more Pilates because it is seriously a game changer for your body as you age. And we've been adding more Pilates workouts to the website. You can actually use Pilates as a search term and come up with stuff too. But yeah, I'd say that like, depending on the intensity of the yoga and the recovery work.
Yeah.
You know, because they vary.
Are there any exercises that you should not be doing after menopause?
It's not because of menopause that you shouldn't be doing something, it's your body. So if you have bad knees and you hit age 55 and one of your knees is, you know, holding on by a thread and you know you're going to need some arthroscopic or whatever, then you need to be mindful of your knee. If you've got a bad shoulder, you got a bad shoulder. But there isn't, you know, there's nothing that says, oh, you shouldn't do this after menopause. And actually, after menopause, you are at high risk for bone loss and muscle loss. So it's really important. You know, those hormones were protecting you. They were, when you got a lot more estrogen, progesterone, and even women make a little testosterone, your metabolism, and you're protecting your bones, and you're protecting your joints, and you're, you know, protecting a lot of your bodily functions. And then as our hormones decrease, it's really important that you're doing the exercise to try to help yourself. So I've never heard like, don't do this.
Right.
You know,
I think we have a few friends that, you know, are in their 60s, and I think it's amazing, like what
how much they can do.
Still do. And again, they just listen to their body. And some of these women can do basically everything and anything. But you know, if something's feeling a little sticky, like, I know that they're past menopause or pretty dang close if they're not. And it's amazing what they can still do.
Well, and I would say for myself, I jump less than I used to. Like I can still jump. I do burpees, I do jump squats, but I do less of them. Like if I'm doing a series of jump squats for like a minute, I might do 20 seconds and then I go low impact and then I go back to high impact and then I go back to low impact. Like I just give myself that grace. And I never feel bad about it. I think that's what's interesting. I think people really need to get past that I feel bad about myself because I'm not doing. Flip it on its back and say, I feel good about myself, because most people who are my age are doing nothing. So
we have a question. Is it unhealthy to eat too little protein?
It's not unhealthy if you're eating healthy food. I mean, but everybody should have a balance of their macros. If you are eating a balance of your carbs, proteins, and fats, then you are getting a good balance of your micronutrients, which are your vitamins and minerals. And so those substances, vitamins and minerals, are in your food. So if you cut out a food group in whole, let's say you just cut out protein, you're missing out on a lot of vitamins and minerals that your body needs to perform well and function well, whether it's brain function, whether it's bodily functions, whether it's organ functions. So it's all important to have a little bit of all three macronutrients in your body. Now, you might have less protein than somebody else, but as we do get older, it is important to add the strength training in and definitely eat a little protein at every meal to support muscle repair and growth.
We have somebody asking, what is the best way to measure body fat, and does being naturally big-breasted give you a higher body fat percentage?
That I don't know. Yeah, there's a lot of body fat if you are big-breasted. That's a really good question, because most of the time body fat is measured. Well, if you're doing a pinching method, then it's not taking into consideration your breast.
Your breast, yep.
But the pinching method was kind of always the method 20 years ago, but it's really inaccurate. Yeah. Like if you have a trainer pinching you here and pinching you there, like they can be so far off by percentage points that, you know, and for a lot of women, they hang their hat on it. Yeah. So let's just say someone tells you, well, you're 37% body fat, but you're really only 30. Like that could throw you into a tizzy and they could be that far off. So the pinching method, I'm a little worried about. Now the bioimpedance, and when you stand on a scale, not always accurate either because it depends on your water content, what you've been drinking. So those can be, they're more accurate, but they can be off by several percentage points also. So again, give yourself a little grace when you step on one of those types of scales. There also is this thing called the egg. Oh my gosh, what's it called? Bioimpedance?
The
bioimpedance, where I'm forgetting the main word for it.
It's like a pod, isn't it?
It's a pod, yeah. Like you get in this egg and it's air displacement, and that is very accurate. So that to me would take into consideration your breast because your whole body's in there. But it's very accurate in giving you your ratio.
It's the Bod Pod.
The Bod Pod, that's what, the bod. It's like air displacement. So the Bod Pod, lots of clinics, hospitals, even like rehab centers now have a Bod Pod. I've done the Bod Pod twice. And super interesting. So, and very accurate.
Isn't there another one where you like go underwater?
Yep, that is the hydrostatic wing where you literally like dump yourself in a tank of water. Not very convenient. Don't know where you're going to do that.
I had to do it in college.
You did?
Yeah.
For dance or what?
No, for exercise science. That was my major, and so we had to do all of those. I was in college back then, so those numbers still.
I'd rather not dunk myself in a huge tank of water. So and again, that's displacement of the water to your body. But what's really important is maintaining a decent body fat to muscle ratio. And as we get older, we get what I call fluffy, where you lose your muscle, but you're not, and you just potentially gain more fat. And you can still even be, I guess I hate this word, but skinny. There is, such thing as skinny fat, where you are, you haven't grown in size. You can still look great in your clothes or whatever, but you have zero muscle mass, so you're mostly body fat, and that puts you at a high risk for heart disease, which is the #1 killer of women. So again, another plea for you to pick up weights no matter who you are and what your size is.
Absolutely. We have Sandra asking, do any particular workouts lead to an hourglass figure?
Ooh, hourglass figure. I don't know. I mean, hourglass figure, who has that anymore?
Not sure.
Kim Kardashian. And she does weird stuff with her waist. Like, I don't know. She's got like... Yeah, she, like, I don't know, waist trainers and weird crap that I don't think works, but that stuff is weird. I don't know. No, I mean, obviously, like, I'd love to tell you, like, oh, if you do Russian twists, you're going to whittle your waist. I mean, you definitely are using those muscles, but nothing promises you an hourglass figure. And if you see an infomercial that does, I'd be suspect.
I love it.
Some of that is genetics.
Yes.
Like, I always say genetics loads your gun, but environment pulls your trigger. Like, what you eat and what you do and where you live and how you interact, that is hugely responsible for your health. But I mean, we're all built with a genetic frame. Like, if you have a certain frame, I don't know how you're going to like whittle your waist down to nothing or, change the way you look without some sort of plastic surgery.
Right.
Yeah.
Can you explain the difference between collagen and protein? Can you do both together? Are they different? Tell us.
Yep, you can do both together. They're both a form of protein made of amino acids. So like I said earlier, there's 21 amino acids out there. And so for the amino acids, collagen is a different amino acid profile than like a whey protein. So they're two different products. Collagen has a whole bunch of, I can't pronounce all these amino acids because they're like, they all end with like weird, valine, isovaline, leucine, hyla, whatever, there's like all these different words. So, but collagen has a different profile. So the amino acid profile in collagen is going to be more geared towards joints, hair, nails, skin, that kind of thing. Whereas whey protein is going to be geared a little bit towards muscle recovery. So you really can use both. To me, they aren't interchangeable. Like, you can't say, oh, I do collagen, so I'm not going to do whey. I would still do the whey protein. If you're heavy into the weightlifting, I would still do the whey protein for the muscle recovery. Now, I do both. I used to do both protein powder and collagen powder in my shake, and it was just too much powder in my shake. So now, I mean, I still sometimes do, but I usually put the whey protein powder in my shake because that's my breakfast. That's what I like. And I take collagen pills, which is maybe not as effective because you have to take a lot of pills to equal the amount of protein powder. But for me, it's consistency. And I remember to take my collagen at bedtime every night because I just have it sitting on my counter. So I'm brushing my teeth and I just take my collagen pills right then and there. So it's how I stay most consistent, but there's no right way.
Absolutely. All right. This is a long one.
Okay.
So get ready.
I'm ready. I better listen.
I'm 57, 5'1", so I'm short. Working out regularly 4 to 5 times per week plus walks, and I eat pretty clean. Log my food on MyFitnessPal. She's staying between 1,300 to 1,400 calories a day, but her belly seems bloated and she's gained 10 pounds in the last year. She started adding protein to her smoothies 2 months ago, is also doing the Serious Strength calendar back to back. Okay, still following? She is not seeing any changes. Weight is staying the same, but her midsection is still bigger. What can she do to kind of, I mean, she's not seeing any changes, so she's looking forward to finding maybe some advice on how to.
Is she 57?
She said she's 57 and she's 5'1".
And she's eating healthy. Did she say healthy? I mean, I know you said 1,300 to 1,400 calories a day, but what kind of calories?
She did not say what kind of calories.
Okay, because getting rid of food coloring, additives, MSG, sugars, all that stuff is absolutely positively huge. But if you are not eating any of that and you are weight training intensely and you are maintaining such low calories, I mean, that is low calories, but again, she said she's 5'1", so she's really tiny.
Yep.
So when you are trying to lose weight, that might be okay. I would definitely get my hormone profile taken. I would go to a doctor and get my hormones, my thyroid, my blood levels, check my A1C, your blood sugar, and see what's going on in your body. Because it sounds to me like you're doing a lot of the right things. And sometimes, again, I have a regular doctor that I really love, but I think a naturopath can also be a good option because, or a functional medicine doctor, I should say, because functional medicine doctors really treat the soil so that you don't get the disease kind of a thing. So they look at the big picture and they might be able to recommend supplements. And when I say supplements, things like herbs and things that can help your body reduce inflammation, manage, your thyroid or your hormones. I mean, for those of us going through menopause, if you aren't taking some sort of a hormone replacement, again, a functional medicine doctor can help you. That's what I did. Take the right, like I take calcium and vitamin D and magnesium every day, and vitamin B and vitamin C, the things that can help me navigate my fluctuating hormones as they fluctuated down and ultimately decreased. But I got through it. But anyway, that's not the question. The question is, I'm thinking you should consult somebody. Because it sounds like you're doing the right thing.
Yeah, and I think it's so interesting, Chris, because obviously I learned a ton from you, and menopause wasn't something that I ever talked about, and now I talk about it all the time. But I actually was having a conversation with my younger sister who's 24, and all stages of life, whether you're 24, I'm 30, listening to you, listening to my mom, like your hormones are changing yearly, like all the time. It is so interesting to hear you talk about this. I am going through gut things too, and it's like, okay, what do I have to do? What supplements do I have to take? It is like a ever-changing thing, which I've learned hormones are a huge part of that.
A huge part of it. And like estrogen, for instance, estrogen dominance is really not good for our health. And some people will say, well, how could I be estrogen dominant? Like, I'm going through menopause. Like, how in the world could I be estrogen dominant? I'm losing my estrogen. But if you're eating a lot of bad foods, or if you're putting a lot of weird chemicals on your body, you can become estrogen dominant. And if your progesterone is decreasing at a rapid pace and your estrogen isn't decreasing as fast because you're eating or putting stuff on your body, you might have estrogen dominance, which puts you at risk for a lot of different things. So it is good to get a hormone profile. But that being said, gut health, like you just said, gut health is so important. 70% of your immune system is in your gut. If you follow Dr. Hyman, you guys, we talk about him all the time. Dr. Mark Hyman, he has like 1.5 million followers, and he's like the real deal. Like he tells you the real stuff about what's going on with food. He is a true MD that became functional medicine.
Yep.
He's part of the Cleveland Clinic, I think, advisory staff, and he has his own clinic out in on the East Coast now. But anyway, that being said, he always talks about the fact that gut health matters. So if the flora in your gut is off, so many things in your whole body can be off. And so eating fermented foods is really important. And there's some statistic, like 94% of Americans don't eat any fermented food at all. Fermented foods are things like apple cider vinegar, kombucha, tempeh, sauerkraut, kimchi. Like, are any of those on your list? And getting the right flora in your gut so you have the good bacteria that helps your immune system stay strong also matters too. There's so much going on in your body. So if you are doing all the right things and you feel like you're reversing and things are going the wrong way, really, really consult somebody who can help you.
Yep.
Do a makeup of what's happening in your body, from your blood work to your A1C to your hormones to your thyroid, all that stuff.
Just a few minutes left, and
Okay.
we do have a few questions along the same line. So I can't do whey protein because I'm lactose intolerant. It bothers me. Is pea protein okay to use?
Yeah, pea protein's great.
That's what
I
I
mean,
do.
any kind of plant protein, protein, rice. What do you use?
I use pea protein, plant-based. So we do have somebody asking vegan protein powder options. Organifi has a really good.
Their protein powder is so good because some of them are not, and
Yes.
it's super clean. We give you guys a code for Organifi. If you go to their website, Organifi.com, and put my name, Chris Freytag, in for the month of September. For the month of September, my code is worth 20% off right now. It will end in October. It goes back to 15. But
Yep.
a lot of our people who also use Organifi products are all stocking up in September.
Yes,
because
and they just came out with a chocolate protein powder. So it was just vanilla, which I am obsessed with. Haven't tried the chocolate, but they have a chocolate that just came
Yay,
out.
we
so
need to try it.
We do.
Okay,
And then
good.
just a few, just kind of take a look at what's in the protein powders. I think you talked about hemp seed protein
Hemp seed
powder
protein
too.
and pumpkin seed protein powder.
Yes.
I think the Organifi has some pumpkin seed in it.
I think it does.
Yeah,
I think
it's
you're
really
right.
good.
Okay.
We're kind of coming to the end.
We
aren't
are coming to the end.
I do want to mention the Menopause Muscle Builder one more time, you guys. It is a challenge that we're starting October 1st. We're super excited about it because so many of you have asked about it and are asked about menopause. And so we thought, let's do this together. Let's talk about getting our bodies, back on track, getting our strength training in every week, a little bit of cardio, a little bit of flexibility. Let's give you some advice. I'm going to be live in a private Facebook group, the Get Healthy UTV private Facebook group, every week, talking about menopause, answering your questions, starting discussions among all of us. We have emails that are coming out. Are you guys able to put that banner up again, or do they already see it? I don't know if
there it is.
There they go. There they are. So just if you want to sign up, sign up. If you're a gold member, it's free. And if you're a premium member or not a member, it's $13 to get started, and you get a year to Get Healthy UTV. So that's exciting.
Chris, we do have a few people asking because they are not on Facebook. Is
Yeah.
there a way that they can join in on those conversations? Maybe something we need to think about?
Kind of no, because the problem is there's no... to download off of Facebook and put it up on YouTube, we have found is really not easy. And so maybe what you do is create a profile. Facebook, people don't realize it. Like, you can just create a profile and then you can just close it down. It's very easy to do. You can create a profile, use it for nothing else but joining the Get Healthy UTV Facebook group, be a member of it for a month, and then just close the account. It's super easy to do. So I would suggest that, because it's going to be a delay and it's going to be hard for us to get those over to YouTube.
Yep. We have somebody, Sandra is asking, how do you spell Organifi? It is Organifi. Go to their website, Organifi.com, and then Chris's code is Chris Freytag.
And people have been stocking up in
Yeah.
September. I mean, because you and I both use the Reds every day for energy. I use the Reds, like, you just shake them up. They're like a Starbucks drink, but it's so healthy. And they're sold out right now.
I was going to say, they're sold out. So if you're looking for those, that one is
So
sold
hold
out.
tight on the Reds. We drink the Gold every night too, which is turmeric, turkey tail, mushroom, reishi mushroom, cinnamon, like all these good things for your immune system. And I'm obsessed with it. And they do have the gold and the pumpkin spice gold. And the greens. I mean, there's just, check it out. They've got so many healthy things that are good for supporting our immune systems and our just total body system. So, oh my gosh, you guys.
1 hour goes fast.
Menopause, strength training. It's all so interesting to me because it's who we are. It's our real life. Like this is what's happening to us right now. So it's important that we discuss it together. So thanks for joining us. Did people give their opinion whether they like Friday?
No one gave a comment. So
okay,
let
us know. You know, because we're here for you. This is the first time I think we've ever come live on a Friday.
It is. Yep. We're trying new things out, so let us know. I do know that there was an issue with Facebook, so we're on Get Healthy UTV right now and YouTube. So
okay,
lots of channels.
All right. Well, you guys, take care. We'll see you in October for the Menopause Muscle Builder, or we'll see you again at another live Q&A or a Monday morning or a Friday morning live workout.
Yep.
So
lots of chances.
Have a great weekend, everybody. See you later.